Imagine a man who ruled an empire stretching across continents, commanded legions of soldiers, and yet, at dawn, sat quietly with his thoughts, writing words that would resonate through the ages. This is Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-king, a man who redefined what it meant to lead with wisdom and virtue. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus Augustus, born in 121 AD, became the Roman emperor in 161 AD. His reign was marked by constant warfare, a plague that devastated his empire, and political intrigue that would have crushed lesser men. And yet, through it all, Marcus embodied the qualities of a leader not obsessed with power, but with virtue. The son of a noble family, Marcus was raised in the heart of Roman aristocracy. His early life, however, was anything but ordinary. Even as a boy, he was drawn to philosophy, donning the rough cloak of a stoic philosopher at just 11 years old, a symbol of his rejection of luxury in favor of a life of contemplation and discipline. Educated by some of the greatest minds of his time, Marcus was a diligent student, influenced by Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature, embracing hardship, and focusing only on what one could control. These teachings would become the cornerstone of Marcus's life and rule. But Marcus's life was not confined to the ivory towers of philosophy. His reign was a turbulent one, defined by wars against Germanic tribes on the northern borders of the empire. Unlike many emperors who ruled from the safety of Rome, Marcus spent years on the front lines with his troops, facing the harsh realities of war. The Meditations, Marcus's personal journal, written during these campaigns, is a window into the mind of an emperor, torn between the demands of ruling and his philosophical ideals. This work wasn't meant for the public. It was a private reflection, a guide for himself on how to live well in the face of adversity. Begin each day by telling yourself, "Today, I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil." For Marcus, the essence of being a great leader wasn't about wealth or power. It was about wisdom, patience, and inner strength. He saw life as fleeting and death as inevitable. Yet far from breeding despair, this understanding fueled his resolve to lead justly, to live with purpose. His governance, much like his philosophical writings, was marked by a sense of duty. Marcus dealt with revolts, corruption, and the political chaos of the Roman Senate, but his commitment to his Stoic principles never wavered. He worked tirelessly to improve the lives of his people, reforming laws and focusing on justice. Perhaps one of the greatest tests of his reign was the Antonine Plague, which ravaged the empire, killing millions. Through it all, Marcus faced the devastation, not with fear, but with quiet resilience. He allocated resources to care for the afflicted, never allowing the empire to falter under the weight of crisis. The Meditations reveal a man grappling with his own humanity, trying to balance the immense weight of ruling with the pursuit of personal virtue. In one passage, he writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In many ways, Marcus Aurelius's philosophy can be summed up by a single concept: control. He understood that external events, from war to plague, were beyond his influence, but his inner world, his thoughts and reactions were entirely within his grasp. In this, he found true power. As an emperor, Marcus Aurelius was often seen as a paradox, a philosopher on the throne, a stoic who wielded immense power but sought inner peace above all. He led one of the largest empires in history, yet his greatest battle was with himself. When Marcus Aurelius died in 180 AD, the empire passed to his son, Commodus, a reign that would end in corruption and the eventual decline of Rome. But Marcus Aurelius's legacy endures not because of the empire he ruled, but because of the wisdom he left behind. His life reminds us that greatness is not measured by conquest or wealth, but by the strength of character. Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to throw away. Death stands at your elbow. Be good for something while you live, and it is in your power. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom transcends time. Though centuries have passed, the lessons of his life and his writings remain as relevant today as they were then. In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, his words remind us to live with purpose, lead with integrity, and find strength in the quiet places of our mind. This is the story of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-king, the last of the great emperors, and a man whose legacy lives on through the ages.